Life has been pretty challenging lately, and Brooke and I have really loved BetterHelp. It's online counseling, and no shame in needing a little bit of counseling here and there from actual professional counselors, not self-help. I mean, we can all read a self-help book, and those are great, but sometimes you need a licensed professional. You can connect in a safe and private and online environment, and it's so convenient. You can start communicating in under 24 hours. You can send a message to your counselor anytime. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. And all without ever having to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room. So convenient. And BetterHelp service is available for clients worldwide. Anything you share is confidential and affordable. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. We want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/reps. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's betterhelp, HELP.com/reps.
Like training to have a fat upper pussy?
No, like, you gotta.
Oh, no.
Fupa-toning? Was it fupa-toning?
No, it was. It was because I said that when I sat on the toilet, my...
you had a foop.
I had a fupa.
That's the worst.
Yeah, it was sitting on my vagina,
You know
which
men
actually...
can have fupas, too.
Yes, I do. I've seen them. Yes.
Yeah, that's why I work out every day. Constant struggle to not have a fupa. So, struggle is real. Is this thing on? Did we start? What?
We always just start. You know what?
shit?
You talk about fupas, and can you like just gain weight just in that localized area? You think? Because
if you tried really hard, I don't know.
I mean,
I think that's genetics.
Like fupa loading?
Fupa loading. Yeah. Maybe.
I mean genetics and also just fat.
I'm sure you could figure out a way.
I mean, I'm just gonna say what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is this.
I was like, I don't have a microphone. We're sharing microphones because we're losers and forgot that one of our cords doesn't work.
Well, it's either the cord or the mic. We're not sure which one, but we've localized one cord and one mic that might be the culprit, and we're not using them.
No.
But hey guys, welcome to another episode of Between the Reps.
Wait. Like, the music, like we don't hear the music. I like the music.
No, that's done in the after. I know. Do you want us to just
false advertising?
I know.
I'm out.
Honestly,
I'm done.
Honestly,
I'm a fan of the pod, so I like the music.
What I was gonna say. Actually, you know what? We don't need to talk about my fupa. Yeah, we won't. Okay. Hey guys, if you're watching, you recognize we have a guest on. His name is a friend of ours. His name is Steve Rubio, and he is a recruiter for the 49ers and also a fellow lover of vodka sodas. That's what we're drinking right now.
Double vodka sodas.
If you are listening, hold the soda. If you're listening, meet Steve Rubio.
That's not water, I promise.
We don't drink water.
Water.
Hey, Gina, were you hungover this morning?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah. Every single person out there is gonna be so shocked. Like, what?
She didn't find the loaded White Claws in the store though.
I did not.
You should try the corner store here though. There's a good chance they have them.
I've been in LA. I had got my hair done.
Looks phenomenal by the way.
Thank you.
Yes. Nailed it.
I did, however, I was staying at a hotel that I love to stay at in LA, the London. And I tried to like not wash my hair because I just got it done, but I washed it one day, and isn't it crazy how water just from like establishment to establishment or home to home can be so fucking different and ruin your hair. Ruin it.
Is it ruined?
It's not ruined. It feels like it is. It feels like there's no coming back from this. I have it feels like someone either lit my hair on fire and put it out, but it only fringed the ends, or it feels like I have hay for hair.
Well, no, I always say that. It's like you have a whisk broom at the bottom. It's like if you braid your hair, it's like a little whisk broom.
I got back into town today. Steve also got into town today. He picked me from the airport. Sweetest. And we're podcasting. It's Friday?
Yep.
What? I actually I was hungover this morning, so was Jeanna, and I actually kind of forgot that I was coming home
hungover.
on you weren't hungover? I forgot it was Friday. And I was like, oh shit.
I wanted to be.
Haven't worked out in a week.
But that 5 a.m. alarm came way too fast.
Dude, my alarm is set at 7:30 and I wake up before my alarm every day.
Wait, I got to tell Gina this story real quick because I haven't told
Yeah,
you.
no, go.
So
Okay, what?
So yesterday, DJ is voice messaging me.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, bro, you coming in to work out?" You know, I'm like, "Yeah."
Like
you know,
overly excited.
Yeah. Like,
Yes.
super pumped up.
Yeah.
Hey, got you lined up for the 9 a.m. Saturday morning class, and I was like, "Hold on, bro." And I was like trying to find like the world's best meme to be like, you know, I'm going to podcast with Gina and Brooke on Friday. Pretty sure
It's probably not going to happen.
I'm not going to make the 9 a.m.
He
class.
told me the same
You know,
thing.
you know what he goes? He goes, so 10 a.m., right? And I'm like,
No, he told me.
I'll get there when I get there.
No, this is what he told me. He texted me this morning and he said, "Hey, yeah, you know, Steve's in town. He really wants to partner up with you on the 10 a.m." And I go, "He does not. I've already talked to him. That is you."
Facts.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. And I was like, "What are you trying to do to me? There's no way I'm making it to the 10 a.m. tomorrow. Absolutely not."
He looked at me like, because I went in there today after I dropped Brooke off, and he was like, so you're drinking with them today, huh? And I was like, yeah.
Duh.
It's like, well, what else would I do
Yeah.
tonight with him? And he was like,
What are you doing?
he was like, oh, okay. And then he tried to get Marcus in on this whole thing, like, you know, Gina doesn't drink anymore, right? And I was like, she doesn't drink anymore, but she also doesn't drink any less either.
Anybody who would hear that would be like, nah.
Complete-
That's
yeah.
bullshit.
Hey, that sounds boring.
Boring.
100%.
We're not here for boring.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck. Why do I have the mic?
Because we're sharing one, and I'm
No, I
just.
know, but
I thought you were like taking the helm.
Honestly, am I
Don't you have-
drunk already?
don't you have
I
the-
think you
don't you
are.
have the mic because you're the host? Is that what?
Is this another drunk podcast?
Oh no.
Hmm.
Oh, this is our second drunk podcast.
100% is not.
If it is, I will definitely come back to talk about my own fupa. If that happens, you know I'm drunk.
Nobody out there wants to hear about how you have a fupa.
I know, which is exactly what this is why I didn't want to talk about it. But you know what? It was a genuine thought that I wanted to ask you about, and I shut it down because I could just hear you in my head being like, "Oh, we can't.
You don't have a fupa."
Well, it's kind of bullshit. It's kind of
I
bullshit.
agree. Totally agree. Second that.
Okay, so let's ask Steve what he does. Steve,
That's what we're doing. We're here today, one, to bring you guys someone other than ourselves, and someone
I'm pretty sure they're here
extremely
for
interesting.
You, though. They're here for you guys.
Extremely interesting. And we love Steve Rubio. And he has an incredible job that maybe like amongst you or who you work with and like the industry you're in, it's not like a, to us, it's like, it's a glamour. It's like,
Right.
it's very cool.
No, I get it. I get it. And sometimes, like, I find myself, because normally I'm amongst my peers and
Yeah.
the guys in the team and other scouts, GMs, coaches, whatever, and, like, it's a small circle, and we don't really think about it. But yesterday I was actually at Grace's Meet the Teacher, and this other dad in there was wearing an Oklahoma hat, and I was like, oh, Oklahoma, huh? I love Norman. And he was like, oh, you been there? And I was like, yeah, I scouted there for, like, 4 years straight. He was like, what? What do you do? I said, oh, I'm a scout for the 49ers. And he was like, I've never met one of you before. like I was an alien or something, like getting blasted down by, from a UFO. So, yeah, I hear sometimes.
but wait,
yeah.
was that like a you had to like go as a dad and like tell your job?
No, it was just meet the
Oh.
teacher. She starts school on
Oh,
Monday.
meet the teacher.
Yeah,
okay.
so-
I thought it was like one of those things like where like all the dads go
Oh,
in
like
like
career day?
Yeah, and he was like,
No,
"Oh, I'm just a
no.
janitor."
Yeah.
Hey, janitors are very important.
Right.
100%.
I'm not,
But
I'm not laughing because at the job of a janitor, I'm
Correct.
laughing at the idea of like, oh, I'm just a janitor. Because Gina said it like that.
well, no, I just feel like the kid.
Clarifying.
Okay.
Even though anyone listening already knows that, sometimes shit I say might offend many people. Which is why those people don't listen to this podcast.
Well, no, I was just thinking, like, how embarrassing would it be, like, if you were at a school function and you were having to, like, tell everybody, this is my dad. My dad.
You know what would
Dad
happen?
scrubs toilets.
It would be where Steve would go first. You know what I mean? And the guy next is like, I gotta follow that.
Yeah, how many people?
No,
would, like,
I would.
leave after that?
No, I would lie.
Yeah, Homer
I would
Simpson
100%
meme going
lie.
into the
I'd be like,
hedges, creeping out. Oh,
yeah,
totally.
I am the Secretary of Defense. Because the kids don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Then the next dad's just sweating. Just sweaty palms. Like, fuck.
Yeah, it's a.
His kid's like dressed up in like a similar like work outfit.
The blue button-up shirt, like a mechanic with the name patch.
Dude, I want one of those shirts.
I have one.
You do?
Yeah. So my first year with the team was when Jim Harbaugh was coaching here, and he had this whole like blue collar, hard hat mentality. Bring your lunch pail to work every day.
Yeah.
So once you earned it, you got a blue collar shirt.
Oh,
and
stop.
they are light blue. I actually wore it when we played in the Super Bowl in 12. I wore it with a sport coat over it.
Dude, that's sick.
But it's a button up light blue shirt with the white patch with the black writing, and it says Rubes on it. And you had to
That's
earn it.
awesome.
Yeah.
I almost feel like it's like a bowling shirt.
Correct.
Yes.
But light blue. Yeah.
Right. Right.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Light blue.
Light blue. Cotton.
Have you ever been in a bowling league?
No.
I have.
Yeah.
How was it?
Not good. We were the youngest people in it, and we were the worst. And so I think at the end, my ex and I were so bad that we got a skunk trophy.
Because you stunk?
Yeah. My parents were in a bowling league. My mom is a fucking shark at bowling,
I believe
dude.
it.
Oh my! It's
Your mom's
so
a savage.
it's so irritating. Like not the last time, but a couple times ago, I was home. Could have been around Christmas time. I don't fucking remember. But let's go bowling. We took the kids, me and my brother, all his kids, and my
Does she have her
mom.
own balls?
Yes, one. And just
I had my own ball. Why'd you pull it away from me?
know what you're doing. Hey, I had my own ball. She has her ball in like this very, retro, because it's retro, but like a baby blue bowling bag.
I had that.
Is that frowned upon?
I had the same one. Yes. Like baby blue and white.
Yes.
Yes.
Dude, so sick. We went bowling, and I'm not good at bowling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bad.
You are definitely not good at bowling.
I don't need bumpers.
No, you don't.
Wow. Neither
But
does my
you might.
6-year-old. Congrats.
You might.
Neither does my 6-year-old. And I get lucky. It's like I'll get lucky and I'll strike, spare, and then many times it's like, oh wait a minute, that was supposed to hit a pin. A pin.
It's gutter ball.
Regardless, we go bowling. My mom, she's just talking. Fuck, dude. My mom, she's just talking the whole time. Like, I haven't been in so long, and I'm like not good at bowling, and blah blah blah. And then we get there, and I was like, oh, my mom, you'll do great, mom. You'll do great. Strike, strike, strike. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like she got a turkey.
Do you know what turkey is?
No.
3 strikes, right?
Oh, 3 strikes, you're out.
No. No. I think a turkey is like when you get 3 strikes in a row.
What do you get when you like
That is
6
exactly
in
what
a
it
row?
is.
Fucking peacock, because she was peacocking.
Yeah, well, she should be.
Not only was she throwing peacocks, she was peacocking. And I was like, okay, enough's enough, mummy.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is bowling 101 for y'all. Yeah.
Cock, peacocking, and turkeys.
Why not? It's what we do.
Okay, to the good stuff.
All right.
And this is the best part. We want Steve's really gonna like share so much about him and his job and how he got into it, that the fact that me and Jeanna only have one mic to share, you won't even realize it. Steve, give us a little synopsis of you, how old you are, where you from, and
What's your sign?
what's your sign, and how you got into being a scout.
Well, Steve Rubio. I'm originally born and raised in South Florida. Fort Lauderdale to be specific. Went to
Party town.
St. Thomas Aquinas High School. And anybody that knows football, it's the powerhouse.
Ooh.
So every year we put out the stat, and I think last season we had 17 alumni on opening day rosters in the NFL. So 17 alumni from my high school were on an active NFL roster.
Wow.
And the next closest school had less than half, to give you an idea. So it's a bit of a machine. So the Bosa brothers went there, Major Wright went there, Brian Piccolo went there, Michael Irvin went there. Like, it's a powerhouse.
We met him.
That's
We met Michael Irvin.
Did you?
Yes. Let's not actually tell the whole.
We will not tell the experience.
I can
We'll
only
tell you
imagine.
the entire
I got
experience.
some Michael Irvin stories.
We'll
off the
tell you
record
the
for
entire.
guys.
We'll tell you
Private.
my entire experience with Michael Irvin in private, but incredible athlete.
Let's just say this. No, I will say this. Hopefully you don't get mad at me.
Whoa.
But there was a point in the night that I had to tell him that we were lesbians and that she was in my room.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Michael Irvin. Hopefully you don't listen to this podcast. The best part is, like, I didn't know who he was. I had no idea.
Even better. That makes it even better.
He was just dressed in all white. No, with like
Just bedazzled.
bedazzled gold shirt.
Where were you guys at?
I was in.
The Ulster.
I was doing the All Stars, the softball game for
Oh, just
the
recently. when you
fundraising.
did
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and he was
okay.
there, and he took a liking.
She excused herself, and we went to the we went to the elevator, and
Shocker.
it was like I don't know. I feel like it was like something like in Terminator.
Wait, are you telling the story?
Well, not really.
Okay, don't leave.
No, I'm not. Okay. So we we left the party and we were in the elevator, and it was like all of a sudden this arm just like shoots through, and it was like
He ran.
he must have ran. And this arm shoots through the elevator, and it's like all like we thought, we were going up, and all of a sudden it's like, and then he walks in, and he was a little, smitten, I'll just say that. And so as we're going up, we get to our floor, and he comes out, and he just wanted to make sure that Brooke was okay. And so then I went around the corner with her sister, and her sister goes, "Are you going to help her?"
Dude, seriously, I'm thinking like, where did my friends go?
And I literally
You left me alone taking the
They
trenches.
literally left me. My sister and Gina left me, and I'm like,
and I was
Band of Brothers.
But I was around the corner. We were around the corner from the elevators. I was just like waiting for her. And then her sister looks at me and she goes, "Are you going to help her?" And I was like, I mean, I kind of feel like she can help herself, but also
which is true.
you're her sister. Maybe you should help her. And so then I was like, I mean, I guess. And so I walked back around the corner and I was like, "Hey, she's with me."
It is
And
true.
then
Leaving out some small details, but only because it's because I can.
right. And so then I just looked at him and I was like, "Hey, she's with me. She's staying in my room." And I grabbed her and he was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Bye."
And then we're walking down the hall like, okay, pretend to go into this room. Pretend to go into this room. So he doesn't know what room we're in.
Who would have thought that me talking about alumni from my high school would lead to this kind of story? But I'm not surprised one bit.
All right, hey, continue with your story.
Okay, yeah. So after that, I went to UCF where I became a student manager at a young age. I was like 17 years old. Started working there. Did 4 years with the team, and that's kind of like where I had always loved football, like from day one. Like always was my passion. Kind of got that from my mom. Like my dad, not a big football guy. He was more into cars and music, but my mom was from upstate New York, and even growing up as a kid, she would always have games on. So that's kind of what started my love for it. Like my first ever NFL game was a Dolphins-Jets game in Miami with my mom, and I remember it so well. Because anybody that knows football knows that the Jets fans are just total assholes. So I remember being there like an 8-year-old kid and like hearing words I'd never heard before, and that's kind of how it all started, was with mom. So then in college, usually on, Thursday nights in college towns, that's when you go out and rip it and drink double vodka sodas and hang out with your pals and,
Right.
tie one on real nice. But
That's right.
I had gotten to know some of the coaches from being out at practice and helping out as a young student that one of them who wound up being my mentor, Jim Bernhardt, invited me on Thursday nights to come do like film breakdowns with him. So I'd go in there after practice, stay there for like 4 or 5 hours with him and watch tape. And that's kind of what lit my fire in terms of becoming a coach. And from that point on, I didn't really have a college life. Like I sacrificed all that typical party mentality to, put in work because it was a dream and it was something I loved. So I got fortunate, and before I even graduated, the head coach offered me a full-time position on the staff. So here I was, like 21 years old, as a graduate assistant coach at UCF down in Orlando.
That's crazy young.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I started really early,
Yeah.
Which is good.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So I did that for a year, and then we had somebody that ran the recruiting department leave, and I had kind of helped him out some, and that was like a full-time, full-paying job, not just a, paid graduate assistant job. So I went and did that at 22, and then randomly got a call from the University of Tennessee, who's in the SEC, like big-time program. They called me out of the blue and said they had heard a lot about me and were interested in bringing me in as a director of player personnel, I think it was. So I went there for 3 seasons, unbelievable time there. And then when scouts come in, so as a scout, yes, your main objective is to project an athlete to where his potential can be and where you think his fit is in terms of the draft and your team. But the other side of it is not just the athletic side, but we're like private investigators too.
Is it like Moneyball?
No, that's the whole
Great movie.
Right, great. Love
Great
you,
movie.
Love you, Brad Pitt.
Wrong
Brad,
sport.
if you're
Wrong
listening.
sport, but yeah.
Brad, if you're
Brad,
listening.
if you're listening.
Great
Oh my God.
movie.
Brad, if you're listening, remember I named my period after you.
Oh, I don't know if he's listened to that one. Jeanna named her period Brad Pitt so it would make her enjoy it a bit more.
It makes sense.
100%. It makes me feel so stupid that I didn't even think of that.
I've been feeling empty
creating
since
a
I
new
have
name
not
for your
had a period. I haven't had one for like 6 years, so I've been feeling very
going through Brad
Bradless.
withdrawals?
Bradless.
Brad
Can I name?
withdrawals.
I'll name mine Brad Pitt.
That's bullshit.
You should go like Jason Momoa or something,
I think great name.
right?
And human.
I'm on my Jason Momoa right now.
Dude,
Could
I
be
will.
worse.
You know what? I am. Hey, I'm stating it right now. My period, which I'm actually on right now, none of you are surprised that I'm telling you or that I'm on it. I'm not pregnant. Woo! Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa. Momoa. Jason Momoa. Hey, you guys, Jason came. If I just said Jason, it's like,
Jason's
which
here.
Jason?
Jason is here.
Jason's
Jason,
here?
it could very easily be Jason
Hey,
Voorhees.
funny story.
too.
I want to segue into this story. Sorry, again, taking
good.
over your story.
No, you're good.
Recently was with a guy and
Like how recent, Gina? What are we talking?
like 2 nights ago. And yeah, and had had sex and
Congrats.
he said, "Hey Gina." Yeah, hey, thank
Congrats
you.
on the sex.
He said, "Hey,
I'm just happy you're having me.
yeah." He goes, "Hey Gina, you're I think you're bleeding." And I was like, "Hey, don't worry. I think it's, it's not from the inside." And then he was joking about like if we had a kid, and I said, "Well, if we did, it'd be like that one egg that was hanging on for like 5 years, and it probably wouldn't come out okay." So,
Just like the one egg.
yeah, the one egg that was just
half egg.
Stage 5
Just
clinger.
clinging,
egg?
yeah.
Is that what we're talking about? We got a stage 5 clinger.
yes.
Dude, I just picture like that one egg. Oh, hi. Our boys are here.
Hi.
If you're wondering, Maggie's barking because we're doing our podcast outside. And Maggie, sorry, hang on. Maggie, shut the fuck up. No, DJ and Marcus just got here. I'm talking about your egg.
Yeah.
Your egg. I don't see.
No.
I'm not gonna say eggs. She has one egg left. I just picture this egg in there, just like,
Just
fucking-
hanging on for dear life.
just like,
the Jason
he's
Bourne of eggs.
like a rock climber with an incredibly strong grip, and has just like wedged its fingers in like
Lone survivor. He's like
in-
Marcus Luttrell.
yes. In there, like, I'm not going. I'm not leaving.
No, you know what it would be? It'd be like that guy from 127 Hours who got caught between the rocks and had to like slice off his own arm or something. That's my egg. That would be like the last egg. Like, I'm just going to cut half of it off.
Just let go, except for the fact that he cut off his hand so he could leave. Instead, he cut off like, your egg cut off the foot to let go. But the rest of your egg was like, I'm comfortable in here.
It's cozy in here.
Might stay here a while.
Cut off just enough that you don't have a period, but it's like, ha 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 ha. One day.
So I just had half an egg.
Gina gets pregnant.
That's a chromosomal problem.
Gina gets pregnant at 51. Gina gets pregnant at 51.
Oh my God.
I thought I was in menopause.
No.
I thought I passed menopause. They're like, well, sometimes we get it wrong. Maybe you were just hot. For real. Was your heat on? Were you sitting on, was your seat heater in your car on? You thought you were in menopause, but actually, you're with child.
Oh God. Hell no.
What if you got pregnant right now?
I don't want to say it.
From 2 nights ago.
Man, rough. I would have to raise it through like the second half of that baby's life.
Oh, jeez.
It's fucked.
Well played.
It's fucked up.
Well
but
played.
also, you know what's
Well
funny?
played.
Me and Gina find stuff that probably a pretty large percentage of people find taboo and fucked up to talk about.
I think it's
We find it
Funny.
I find it
We do.
refreshing. Yeah.
We do.
We find it like we laugh at this when we're having like bad moments, like our life's going bad, something's going bad. We find a way to laugh about it because suddenly it's still shitty. A laugh doesn't make it better. A laugh doesn't pay your bills. A laugh doesn't do anything. However,
I like where this is going. A laugh doesn't pay your bills.
I wish it did because I laugh a lot. But it does make the shittiness just feel a little bit like more. You can
Less
handle
shitty.
it.
Less shitty.
You can handle it. Like maybe you can't handle it, but you're gonna. You know what I mean?
Sometimes we have good and bad days. Sometimes it rains on your wedding day or your birthday. Or, you have bad BO, body odor, because you forgot to use deodorant. Well, the good news is Native has your back completely. Native cares about the products you put on your body. They're about stopping the stink right away. They have classic deodorant, sensitive deodorant, plastic-free deodorant, body wash, sunscreen, and the scents are incredible. In fact, we've got coconut and vanilla, citrus and herbal musk, lavender and rose, and more. And for the month of September, we have the Road Trip Collection limited edition, and the scents, they sound incredible. Midnight Sage and Jasmine, which was inspired by Southern California. Surf and Sea Moss, inspired by beaches of the Northeast. Key Lime and Sugar, inspired by the South. Sweet Peach and Nectar, inspired by the Georgia Peach. And I will tell you, the Sweet Peach and Nectar body wash is killer. It currently is my favorite. So check them out if you haven't already. Stay fresh and stay clean with Native by going to nativedeo.com/reps or use the promo code REPS at checkout and get 20% off your first order. That's nativedeo.com/reps or use promo code REPS at checkout for 20% off your first order.
Okay, hey, back to you, Steve.
Yeah, so where was I? Where was I before we went down a dark rabbit
You
hole
were
right
talking. You were talking about you were
I
doing
totally lost track.
a full-time job,
there? We started talking
actual
about
paying
Gina's
job
eggs.
in Tennessee. You're moving to Tennessee.
Yeah, so I moved to Tennessee, did that for 3 years. And like I said, most of what I do is like being a private investigator. So when these scouts would come to visit both Central Florida and Tennessee where I was, you try and find as many sources as you can to get the nitty-gritty on each of these guys because they're they're big time investments. These are $1 million, athletes and people that you want to make sure they're wired the right way and they're not running the streets and, selling drugs.
Doing
and
drugs, yeah.
all types of shit. Like some of the stories we have are unbelievable.
I want to know like how you investigate. Like, do you like follow them?
You talk to as many people as you can,
Okay.
even to the point where, like, for example, I can't say the school, but there's a big time college in the Southeast, and we've gotten to become really good friends with the main owner of the local establishment there.
Mm-hmm.
So he gives us all like the downright dirt, like, hey, number 89 came in this weekend with 2 women and got into a fight and smacked one of them, like, because what happens in a lot of these like small college towns is a lot of stuff gets kind of wiped under the rugs and you
Right.
never hear about it.
Right.
So you're just trying to find like as many people as you can to learn about these guys, because once you give them millions of dollars, the true colors are really going to come out, and you just want to make sure that they're not going to do something to embarrass the team and the
Right.
organization.
Yeah.
So you're trying to protect the team.
Right.
That's what we're always trying to do. So that's how I got to know so many NFL scouts, because they would come in and talk to me about those players I had at Central Florida and Tennessee, and then
So on average, like how many times have you been scouting someone that you're like, nah?
it probably happens like 3 to 5 times a year, where like when we have our final meetings and they're like, who don't you want? And I'll have like, 3 or 4 guys where I'm like, no fucking chance.
Yeah.
I want that guy. I don't care how great of a player he is. Like, no. And most of the time, like, it works out. Like, very rarely does a guy have 3 years of a bad track record in college and then all of a sudden get $1 million and clean up his act. Like, no.
Right.
It goes
No,
the
it's
other
gonna.
way.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's how I got to know so many NFL guys, was them coming in and asking about our players. And then one year in 2012, I had like 5 different interviews with 5 different teams. And San Francisco was kind of always the best fit for me. I really enjoyed the people there, and that was that was 10 years ago. This is my 10th training camp starting tomorrow. So it's been an unbelievable ride. It's a lot of fun.
So crazy.
It beats working for a living.
I mean,
I get paid to watch football. It doesn't suck.
Yeah, you were talking about when we were leaving the airport, kind of like what you have coming up. You're going to all these colleges. You got to go. You're going to scout.
Yep.
And I said to him, I was like, I would just love to be a fly on the wall, like watching, because this is obviously an assumption. No scout ever came to see me.
you weren't.
But I wasn't scouted.
I would have scouted you.
Thanks, Steve. But you have scouts coming in. So if you're like a college player, it's like your dream is like to get scouted. Your dream is to get drafted. How cool is it to be you?
Power position.
Yeah.
So you're a top man. Just power position. And I said, I was like, they've got to be so like excited, and you said you're like and nervous
Right.
as players.
So like the bigger schools, like the Alabamas, the LSUs, the Georgias of the world, like there's guys like me in there every day, so those guys are used to it. It's these small schools where there's like one legit prospect, and he knows you're all there looking at him. Those are like the interesting ones, because you want to be out there, and like some scouts look like they're driving fucking NASCAR. They got logos galore, like the hat, the shirt, the shorts, the shoes. I usually just wear like a hat and like a polo shirt, just trying to be somewhat incognito. But
You're
once
blending in.
you try to a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah. But like they obviously know who you are, and it's good because you're able to apply a little bit of pressure in that 2-hour window when you're there at a practice, and you can kind of see how they handle themselves. Like if they have a bad play, how do they bounce back? Like how are they handle stuff mentally? Are they physically fit? Like there's so many different elements involved with the whole process. So
What would you what do you think would be like the one thing that would stand out for someone if you were scouting them?
like physically?
Yeah. With everything, like their performance.
Then it can't be one thing.
Okay.
Say, how about one physical thing, one mental thing?
Their butt.
So it's
Incredible butts, I guarantee it.
It's funny.
Incredible butt.
That guy has a really great ass.
It's funny you say that, because
Never bring us with you to scout. They'll be like, oh yeah, you want that one. Yeah, and that one. Oh shit!
But-
Most of them.
In fact, all of them. Yeah.
Just bring the whole team.
Give me all 90. Yeah. Debbie does Dallas all over again.
Oh wait, we're not scouting for my pool boy. Oh,
Weird.
Oh, poo boy.
Weird. It's funny you say that because that's part of the evaluation process. Is the first time I get a chance to get up on these guys in person, whether it's a practice, a game, whatever, we have to fill out a body type report. So I have to analyze their whole body, like head to toe, and you have to go into physical descriptions, talking about legs and butts and arms.
Shut
and
up.
I swear to God,
You're like, his
promise.
package looks really nice.
Seriously,
in those
yeah,
pants.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
You have to analyze it all because when you're analyzing these bodies, the other part into it is you could see a guy who might have a big frame and he might be at like a lower level program where he hasn't really had good development because the strength and conditioning program might be kind of subpar. So you're projecting like, hey, give this guy 2 years in an NFL program.
Like, what can we do? What can this program actually help?
This
Right.
guy needs more squats.
More? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true.
So you're basically objectifying all these players.
Yeah, and I always usually talk about. It's funny you say the butts because that's a real thing, but we don't say like, oh, this guy's got a great butt. We try to be a little bit more like PC in our talk, so we talk about like the bubble. Like, does he have the bubble? So like.
That sounds PC.
Well, I mean that does make sense because you're thinking like, I would assume, but having that and like certain development is like
Yes.
I can see you and know how explosive you are,
Yeah.
how fast you are.
You're exactly right because you can sometimes look at these Olympic track athletes and how they're built with their hamstrings and their bubble and like.
Oh, they got a shelf back there.
Oh yeah, you could rest a double vodka soda, hold the soda on it in a heartbeat. You know
Wouldn't
what I mean?
mind that.
So that's absolutely part of the deal because, like especially with like running backs and other types of offensive skill players, like you analyzing their bodies, not just their butts, but like their frames and their bone structure and like how their joints are structured. That all goes into like injury prevention and everything too. Because if a guy is really frail looking and he's got no ass and like no mass on his bones at all, like he's probably going to be more likely to get hurt. So there's so many different facets of what we do and
Yeah.
looking into all that. So,
Interesting.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Do you look at things like not just like muscle or joint or whatever, but even like length of forearms or width of shoulders or length of legs?
So the main measurements in the NFL that we use are height, weight, hand size, arm length, and then wingspan. So the arm length is measured from the start of the socket all the way down to the middle finger. We just
long arms.
create
I bet. I bet you see some fucking wings.
Well, so when
just
you
Pegasus out there.
when you got the one arm, you can measure that easily. But me not being like the largest human being known to man, when they do wingspan and that's both arms out, I usually have to have a guy like hold the tape. Like, hey, can you hold the tape down there for me? Because I can't reach that far. Like, yeah, you're talking like 83, 84 inch wingspans, like just absolute.
Because like
monsters.
you're supposed to be the same width as you are tall, right?
We don't have.
Or
a
like that's like
specific
that's like an idea of like that your
Yeah.
wingspan would be how tall you are. But I imagine like elite athletes, you're just you 100%.
ungodly long. So I
Yes.
don't know if you remember Javon Curse, who played for the Titans forever, but his wingspan was so ungodly that he could go to like the bigger pool tables that they have at the hall, and he was so long he could grab one end to the
What?
Wait, he could hold both ends of a
other
pool
of a
table.
pool table.
Wow.
His nickname was the Freak for a reason.
How tall was he?
He was like probably 6'0", which is 6'5.5", 270 pounds. I think his arm length was like 34.5, and his wingspan was like 85, 86.
Oh my
just
god,
absolute
a
creature.
specimen.
Yeah, and he was a freak show playing.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Can you
I know where Gina's mind's going.
can you imagine what he could do
If the
at
wing's
the
that
top
long,
and the
Those
bottom?
pants?
the wing's
He
that
could be rubbing your feet.
Massage my head and my feet.
He could rub your
Same
feet,
time.
rub your head, and I was gonna say and eat your pussy at the same time. Rub your feet, rub your head, and just lick your pussy. And that sounds incredible for one.
Nice little Friday night.
And
Multitasker.
that is a multitasker.
Mhm.
We can't hear you. Marcus is asking about bell peppers.
Cucumbers. Avocado.
Would it be cliche of me to say that Javon Curse was excellent in the box?
No, no, it makes it way better.
Do you know what in the box means?
No.
So in the box is a football term. They talk about anything in between the tackles is within the box.
Okay.
So he was excellent within the box.
He was excellent within the box. So did you play sports growing up?
Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you
everything. Hockey, baseball, football. Played football all the way up until high school. Tried to walk on at Central Florida as a freshman, but I'm 5'6", and I look nothing like the guys I scout. So it's actually hilarious because I have the most critical job, and it's like I can crush people's dreams and tell somebody they're not good enough for things that I don't possess. Like, oh, that guy's not tall enough. And I'm like, I'm not tall enough either.
You're like, hey, man,
Yeah.
I get it, though.
Yeah, I get it. I feel you, bro. So
If it makes you feel any better,
I wasn't good enough either.
I wasn't good
Hey,
enough
maybe you'd be a hell of a scout.
You're like, hey,
And you guys just like hug and cry together.
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh my gosh. Can you tell us, like, without like names or anything specific at all, like what's some of a couple stories, like maybe the craziest things you've experienced while out scouting?
I mean, it's a you asked earlier about like the schedule of it all. When we were driving from the airport, and it's a different college town every single night. Usually Sunday through Friday, and then games on weekends where I don't have my daughter. I mean, you see it all. Just sometimes where you have to park and walking into the game, like college life, just mind-blowing stuff. What's a good scouting story?
You know all about that, huh, Gina?
What?
College life?
Are you making fun of me for not going to college? That seems rude.
I didn't graduate from college.
I mean, neither did I.
No, you didn't. Look at you now, though. Look at us. Hey, look at us.
Hey, look at us now. I'm just killing it at life.
Hey, look at us.
100%.
I went to the University of Utah.
Go Utes.
Great. Go Utes.
You're welcome.
Great football program. It's so funny because like I think about like
Who was the coach there when you were in school? Was it Urban? Was Urban Meyer there then?
Yes.
And was Alex Smith the quarterback?
Oh no, after. That was
After.
Yeah, Alex Smith, that was when I wasn't there yet.
You weren't there yet.
But I did love when Alex Smith when he was playing for the Niners.
Here's a good story.
And then I will say this, and
Alex,
I enjoyed him playing, and when was he hurt when Kaepernick played?
Mm-hmm.
And then Kaepernick would play, and I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
I did.
Totally different style of football.
I hated it. I was like, I liked Alex Smith, one, because he went to the
Utah,
U,
yeah.
but also,
The U.
I know, which is Miami,
I'm
right?
from Miami, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The hair in the back of my neck sticks up a little bit when you said the U. Wait a second. Oh, the Mormons? Nah, bro.
Sorry. Utah.
Go Utes.
I did really enjoy watching him play. He played with Tommy Hackenbrook, which was my first CrossFit coach.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Small world.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tommy was from what I understand, I obviously didn't watch him play,
Right.
but hell of an athlete.
What's Tommy doing now?
Not necessarily sure. The last time I spoke with him, he was in Vegas. He's married, remarried, and he had been on that TV show with Stone Cold Steve Austin. The what was it called?
Stone Cold Truth?
No, it was like where they were out literally in the middle of nowhere, like doing
Blowing shit up.
No,
Oh, it was survival stuff, wasn't it?
It was like it was physical, and it was what was it called? They had like put people head to head and had to like
I know. Okay.
battle basically,
Yeah.
and like now you have The Rock's new show. What's The Rock's show where they have Titan?
Clash.
Titan
Games.
Games.
Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the
That was a
Titans.
movie.
Titan Games.
Titan
But I
Games.
will say I stand behind this, and I love The Rock.
Same here.
Dude, I love him. I've said for
I
so long. I
used
was
to go
like,
same gym as The Rock.
it's like my goal in life, among many goals. One of my goals in life is like I want to be the female version of The Rock. But Stone Cold Steve Austin, dude,
Pretty dope too.
yes.
Yeah.
And did you ever watch wrestling?
Of course.
Dude, I loved Stone Cold and I loved Diamond Dallas Page.
Diamond cutter, baby.
Dude, the diamond cutter, baby.
So you know The Rock went to Miami and he's got a home in South Florida. So
You went to, the U.
the real you. But I came back from my freshman year in college at this gym in West Fort Lauderdale, like 10 minutes from his house. He worked out at the same gym as me for like a year and a half. Swear to God.
You saw him there all the time?
Yeah, so I was a huge fan. So
Wait, The Rock did?
yeah.
Shut up.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So here we are one day. It's like 12 o'clock. This gym was called Get Psyched. It's no longer there anymore. In Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And yeah, you asked me if I was a wrestling guy. Like, I had the T-shirts, the whole thing. So I always wore this shirt when I went to the gym because it was like super tight and made my guns look kind of big. So on the front it said, "Finally, The Rock has come back to," and on the back it said Fort Lauderdale. I got it during like Monday Night Raw one year, right? So that was like one of my favorite workout shirts. So he would be in there, and like I just randomly threw the shirt on one day, and here we are. Like, I got my headphones on, he's got his headphones on. We're walking by each other. I have one of his fucking shirts on, you know, and we're not making eye contact because, in my opinion, I'm like, okay, this guy gets approached a gazillion times a day. Like, yeah, I'm a fan. This guy's amazing, but I'm just going to let him do his shit.
I'm not going to bug him.
Right. So after working out, like, at the dumbbell racks together for like 45, 50 minutes, he walks over as he's about to leave, pulls his headphones down, and sticks out his hand.
No.
And I'm like, and he's like, "Hey, brother, appreciate the support."
I love that.
And I was like, holy cow, like, absolutely. And he played at Miami, so we started talking about, like, Miami Hurricanes football, basketball. It was actually during the NCAA tournament one year where Miami had kind of made a deep run. So we started talking about that. From that point on, every time I was in there, he would come up to me and we would talk for like 2-3 minutes.
That's
and
so
like the
cool.
people would be like looking at me like, "Who's this guy?
Right.
Who's this little
Yeah,
Cuban guy
he's got
talking to
clout.
The Rock?"
Yeah, for sure.
Unbelievable man. Huge fan.
God, I want to meet him.
He's so cool.
He seems like the coolest.
Such a nice guy.
Because, like, never met him, obviously, but we were talking about my period, Jason Momoa.
Right.
Jason,
I'm so glad I got that under.
100.
I'm putting that on my resume.
100%.
Major achievements. Name Brooke Ence's
So
period.
I spent I spent time. I named Brooke Ence's period. I spent time with Jason when I was doing the Justice League and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because he was Aquaman.
Yes, and
He seems so dope.
he is the coolest. And I love.
He's a Harley guy.
Yes, Guinness guy. I drank my first Guinness ever with Jason on St. Paddy's Day at some bar in England.
That's cool.
He's exactly how you would think he is in person as he is on.
Very down to earth.
He's so down to earth. He is the coolest. Jason, I know you're not listening to this, but hey, man, miss you. Also, you are the coolest.
Coolest.
I know that on our podcast, Brooke and I just do a lot of laughing, and we love to laugh. And a lot of times when we're feeling really crappy, we'll try to laugh it off. But honestly, sometimes there's just things you can't laugh off, and that's where BetterHelp comes in. I love that you can connect in a safe and private online environment. It's super convenient. It's not self-help. It's actual professional counseling. They're all licensed professionals. You can change your counselor at any point if you're not meshing with them. I can send a message to my counselor anytime, from the convenience of my car, my home, maybe in a bathroom because I'm having a mental breakdown. And it's affordable, which is really nice because, let's be honest, in these times, it's not like I'm just made of money. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. We want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/reps. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/reps.
He's got his own, he's got his own like clothing line with Harley
Yeah.
Davidson now.
Yeah.
So dope. So dope. And his wife's a total rocket too.
100%.
Oh my
His kids are the
gosh.
most beautiful things
I
ever.
believe it.
Oh my
Have you
gosh.
seen that show C that he's got? Have you
Yes.
seen that show? C?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen C?
I'm so excited for the second season.
Comes out in a couple weeks. Right?
Yes.
Here, hold this mic and talk in it. I'm gonna drink.
Okay. Okay. No, I got to meet Jason because yes.
Oh, that's cool.
And
Did you go to the premiere or something?
So she had this is when she was filming. So it was 2016, and I was a huge Game of Thrones fan. And she had texted me and she was like, yeah, she's like, the guy that's playing Aquaman is Jason Momoa. And I was like, oh my God, it's I can't remember his name, Kalal or something like that in Game of Thrones. And I was like, oh my God, I love that guy. I fucking love that guy. And so when I get to London, went to the hotel, and then I get driven in a car down to the Warner Brothers studio, and Brooke is doing her open workout. But what was it? Was I can't remember which one it was.
Wall balls.
Yeah, it was something. So I walk into, this is how cool this guy is. I walk in to the Warner Brothers gym, and Brooke's getting ready to do her thing. And so, I say hi, and she's doing her thing. Jason Momoa, like a god, has his shirt off, walks up to me, and he's like, hey, Jeanna, Jason, nice to meet you. I heard a lot about you. And I was just like this, like, oh, yeah. I mean, Jason? Oh, nice to meet you too. Like totally trying to pull it off. Like I have no idea who he is. And he was the nicest guy.
That's cool. That's the
most beautiful human.
Man, right?
Jesus, he's even more beautiful in person.
I believe
Oh
it.
my God.
I believe it.
No, I met a lot of cool people, but Henry Cavill, I never knew how to pronounce the last name. Superman. I became friends with some of these very high profile people because of the love for fitness and health. So when I was out there, I was in the gym every day, obviously doing, like when I was doing Wonder Woman stuff, but I was training, and Jason would come in and then we would train. And every open workout that I completed at the Warner Brothers gym, he'd want to be there, and he would just cheer me on. That's the whole time. And it was so sick. And like Henry would come in and train, not as often. I saw Jason almost every day. So, and we were the only like two Americans that were there, and we had similar humor, and we were ridiculous. And we became homies. That's cool. And Jeanna got in that day, and I told her, I was like, hey, we're going to go to dinner. I didn't tell her who else was going. And I was like, we're going to go to dinner. What are you doing? She literally just got off the plane. Like, just got in, like, long-ass travel. Yeah. And we went out, and we went to dinner. It was me, her, Jason, his cousin Damien, and Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg. Incredible human. Oh, my God. Incredible human. And we went to this really wonderful restaurant, and then me and Jeanna took everyone to a club, a bar.
Shocker.
Yeah, and had a great time. But it was so funny because Jeanna was like, "Wait, who are we going with?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, we're going with my friend Ray,
Jason."
I was like, we're gonna go to dinner. I'm like, me, Ray, and Jason's gonna come, and so she's like, just gets to London, and it's like she's like. Like how I said Jason Momoa or Momoa. Wait, who's coming? Just Momoa. Just beautiful humans with like incredible personalities and just so down to earth.
But see, like in retrospect, I hope I used that the right way. The Tito's is talking.
No, you did.
Gina, it's your fault.
I know you're welcome.
But you got to befriend those people, and like you just see them as friends and peers. Like very similar when I'm walking around the locker room and Jimmy Garoppolo like throws an arm around me and just kind of BSing, or George Kittle, like you name it, like it's kind of the same thing, and you kind of lose perspective of that sometimes. You're like, wow, this is pretty fucking cool.
It's really fucking cool, but they're also just like real people.
Yeah.
Like normal people. Yeah. Which is, it's
100%. I did Wonder Woman. I saw Henry there.
How was Wonder Woman though? What was her name? Gal
Gadot.
Yeah, how was she?
Or Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Very, very nice, beautiful, sweet woman.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
This is how I met Gal Gadot. We're in Italy, and she's looking down. She's opened a window, and she's like yelling down to Brooke, and Brooke's like, "This is my friend Jeanna." And she was like, "Hi, Jeanna, it's so nice to meet you." And I was like, "Hi." And I was like, "Oh my God. Like, I'm like meeting all these celebrities. It's like the craziest thing. They're like also, I mean, for the most part, pretty normal.
Some of them were very, very nice. Some of them were like exactly how you would expect them to be. Yes. I met Gal kind of not in passing, but I knew what kind of person she was when this happened. I was on set because I would be on set, and I can't remember if I think it may have been I don't know if it was where were we? The Justice League, or if it was Wonder Woman, but I hadn't seen her. Like I was with the Amazons. I would see some people that would come to the gym every day, but not everyone who.
Don't you mean the Amazons were with you?
They were. That's what I meant.
Nailed it.
I was walking on set. They were filming, and she was in there. I'd met her one time, and she remembered my fucking name.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And she knew my name. You know how many, like, I meet a lot of people. I am terrible with names.
Terrible.
And I do remember some new people that I would meet, but like that was definitely like, it felt good. And it was like, I would never expect you to remember me ever. And she knew my name, and she was very wonderful and so sweet. We were at the movie premiere. I wish me and Jeanna were at the movie premiere. I was at the movie premiere for, it may have even been for,
Suicide Squad.
well, I went to that, but it was like, I hadn't seen any of these people because I don't like see them. You know, I talked to Ray. We're friends. I don't like talk to Henry. I don't like see Jason or talk to Jason, but I hadn't seen them or talked to them forever. And I think it was a Justice League movie premiere. And I was walking in on the red carpet, and Henry was, well, him and Jason both did the same thing. And this is what's so wonderful about, like, you meet these people and you don't see them for a long time, but then you run back into them and they know who you are, and they want to interact with you.
People, right?
And I remember I was up kind of next, but Henry was in front of me, and he was literally in the middle of an interview, and he stopped the interview to come over and give me a big hug. I hadn't seen him in a very long time. And Jason, same thing. I was walking out, and you know, he's just a big, funny, like, lover, and he bounces around, moves around. Gives me a big, huge hug. I hadn't seen him for so long, but I haven't met a ton of these high status celebrity actors or whatever. But the few that I've met, that I had a extremely good experience with, that continues, and it's very cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
And I feel like it would be the exact same thing with any like high level status like athlete.
Mm-hmm.
That gets so many people grabbing at you and wanting you, but you're just a person. And within that, like you said, like you're scouting and you're trying to notice all the little things about people. That if the second they get fame, is it going to make them better, or is it going to make them worse?
100%.
Because it's not just them being them, it's them representing you,
For sure.
your team,
For sure.
your co-workers, like the whole organization, sponsors, everything. That's very important.
Yeah, because like I always tell people, we can miss on like a player and what he is as an athlete and like how his NFL career on the field kind of happens. Like we can miss on that. Like that's forgivable from the bosses and the higher powers, like, because it's going to happen. There's not exact science to it. Like, guys are these first round draft picks every single year, and sometimes they just don't pan out. But where you get in trouble and where scouts lose their jobs is when you scout a guy and sign off on him and be like, I love this person.
Yeah, this is like 100%.
And he comes in, he's a total douche canoe, and, you know, he spends all his money on blowing hookers, and, you know, before you know it, he's in ESPN, you know, articles every single week. So that's where we really can't miss, is in terms of the person. So that's where really getting to know these people is huge.
Sorry, I have one question. Is there one player that you can think of that you passed on that you were like, oh man, we should have gotten that guy?
I mean, hindsight, yeah, but like at the time, it always kind of feels right.
Right.
Hindsight for sure. I mean, there's guys I wish I would have done a better job scouting that were in my area. But to sit there like every single draft and be like, man, like, yeah, you think about it sometimes, but you can't, you know, in the moment you feel like you made the right decisions.
I feel like if it was me, you'd be like, they went to a different team. You're like, you're welcome. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you're welcome.
Yeah,
I did that for you. You owe me.
You owe me dinner, bro.
Yeah. I have one more question. One more question. How long, someone who is a scout, what's like a typical time frame that you'd be like actively working? Or like do you see that like there'll be new scouts coming in that maybe, because I feel like 10 years with the Niners, like that's an incredible feat. It's really awesome.
It's pretty rare to be with an organization that long. I feel fortunate. Like I don't want to be anywhere else. I was telling Colbs earlier, like I've had chances to leave, but our ownership and our management's so good that anytime I have other opportunities, they usually go above and beyond, like, you know, not my asking price, but what my true value is. So, yeah, it's tough because this is a dog-eat-dog world business.
Yeah.
And if you don't produce and you're missing on guys and not getting things right, like you're out the door. The shelf life's really tough because originally I wanted to coach, but like coaching shelf life, 2, 3, 4 years, that's shorter. It. You're fired,
Even
right?
Shorter.
So I've been really fortunate because I've been through 2 different general managers, 4 different head coaches, and I guess I'm doing a good job because they keep giving me more money and better areas to scout. So I don't know. Yeah, you gotta perform, you gotta produce, otherwise you're gonna get left. But yeah, 10 years this year for me is not something I ever fathomed, and I always make the joke because, you know, obviously being single and divorced and all that. So, you know, 10 years, I'm like, what commitment issues? What are you talking about?
Well,
you said I had commitment issues.
You know what's funny is like we're all divorced, all 3 of us.
Yeah.
This is a divorce party.
We should do a divorce podcast.
We should also. We've been saying we wanted to do when I got divorced, we were wanting to do a divorce party. We've talked about we were going to plan a divorced party.
Well, you guys haven't done
and
that
we've
yet?
had people email in like, "Can I please have an invite to your divorced party?"
That would be a good time.
We need you guys. Hey, if you guys would
Destination divorce party.
If we did a destination divorce party and we kind of put everything together, and we could sell spots to come to the divorce party, would you go? Would you want to come?
I really feel like anybody would do anything you guys put on just to come be with the 2
I'm like, are we gonna cry
am I
the
wrong
whole
there?
time?
Yeah.
No, dude.
No,
we're gonna
party.
We're gonna yuck. We're gonna party and we're gonna yuck.
Okay.
And we're gonna
So like bring your overalls.
and bring, if you are in fact divorced and you still have your wedding dress. I've been
yes.
I've been wanting,
Do I still have my suit for my wedding? I
dude.
think so.
I've been saying I wanted to like wear I still have my wedding dress. It's at my mom's
Do you
house.
really?
Yes. And I'm like, I want to wear it and like run through a field.
No.
Like Braveheart. And I want all my friends just light me up with paintballs.
I was gonna say no. It was paintballs for sure.
No, I'm going to run in it and you guys are just going to fucking just light me up with paintballs.
I'm in. Sign me up. Sign me up.
All right, divorce party. Hey, you guys, thanks for listening or watching. So Steve,
Thank you, Steve,
to
so
Steve
much.
Rubio.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks for being a guest, because anyone listening or watching is like, please God, get a guest.
Yeah, get somebody.
Somebody. We're sick of hearing these 2 old biddies. Well, 1 old biddy.
Old biddies. I'm almost 32. Hey guys, don't forget to
Like and subscribe.
like and subscribe.
I also listen to the
Rate,
show.
review, subscribe.
5-star
5-star rating, 5-star warning, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.